video, we're going to write a character description using expanded noun phrases. So you will have watched and listened to the story The Way Back Home, and you will have met and seen this little alien here, this character in the story. We're going to write some sentences to describe the alien. Yesterday, you thought about some of those adjectives that you could use. You used the adjective word bank and you chose some of the adjectives from here, or maybe you thought of some of your own and you thought about different adjectives that you could use to describe different parts of the alien. You thought about adjectives to describe the alien's eyes, his mouth, his arms and legs, his hair and head, and his body. You can see here, I've thought of some adjectives too. So I think his eyes are wide and watchful. His mouth is broad and smiling. His arms and legs are thin and outstretched. His hair and head is shiny and round. And his body is tall and blue. Notice my literacy group, in between my two adjectives, I have used a comma. That's right. Have you used a comma in between your adjectives? Mrs. Patel's group, you would just have written one adjective in each box. Okay, so today we're going to use those adjectives to write some sentences about the alien. So an expanded noun phrase is just a sentence about the alien with some adjectives in it to describe him. We're expanding the information about the alien by telling me what he is like using adjectives. So I'm going to start off by describing his eyes. Now my adjectives that I've chosen will be different to yours. My adjectives are wide and watchful. So I'm going to say the alien has two wide, watchful eyes to learn new things about the universe. Because in my success criteria up here, one of the things I need to try and do is use conjunctions to make my sentences longer. So we need to think about that when I'm doing my sentences today. So, got my kinetic letters tree to help me. So, the alien has two wide, using my adjectives from my sheet, wide, comma, watchful, eyes. Here's my conjunction, to learn new things about the universe. Don't worry about getting your spellings perfectly correct. As long as you're using your phonics to sound them out, that's fine. Full stop at the end. Let me read it and check it makes sense and I haven't missed any words out. The alien has two wide, watchful eyes to learn new things about the universe. Maybe you could pause the video here, have a look at the adjectives that you've got next to the eyes, say your sentence out loud that you want to write down, and have a go at writing it down now. Okay, let's have a look at my next sentence that I want to say then. So I've got his mouth is broad and smiling. I think I'm going to use and in my next sentence to join the information about his mouth and his arms and legs together. So I could say he. I don't need to say the alien again now. I can use the pronoun he. So he has a broad smiling mouth and thin outstretched arms and legs. So he has a broad, thinking about where my letters start on my kinetic letters tree, broad, comma, between my two adjectives, smiling, mouth, here comes my conjunction, and thin, comma, in between my two adjectives, out, stretched, arms and legs, arms and legs, full stop. Let me check that sentence again. He has a broad smiling mouth and thin outstretched arms and legs. Okay. Now I might do the same with my next two boxes. I might put them together, or perhaps you would like to pause the video there first before we go on to the next ones. Pause the video there first. See if you can tell me a sentence about his mouth and about his arms and legs. You might want to use "and" in between to join those sentences together. Okay. Now I'm going to have a look at my last two boxes. I'm going to join these two boxes together again. So I've got his head is shiny and round and his body is tall and blue. I don't need to say the alien, I could just say he. So he has a shiny round head and a tall blue body. He, full stop, so start my new sentence. He has what was it again? Let me look back at my work from yesterday if I forget. Shiny round head. He has a shiny, between my adjectives I need a comma, shiny round head, and there's my conjunction to join my sentences together, and tall blue body. Tall, comma, blue body. Full stop at the end of my sentences. So let me read all of my writing then, all of my sentences to describe the alien. The alien has two wide, watchful eyes to learn new things about the universe. He has a broad, smiling mouth and thin, outstretched arms and legs. He has a shiny round head and a tall blue body. When you've finished your sentences, have a little look. Look at your success criteria. Check that you've included all of these things in your sentences today. Okay, so you've only got now the last two boxes on your sheet from yesterday to write sentences about. So in a moment you can stop the video and you can have a go at the last two. Okay, so pause the video now, have a go at those last two boxes. Okay, well done. So you can read your work back, check against your success criteria, make any changes that you need to. Perhaps you've missed out some commas, perhaps you've missed out some full stops or capital letters, or perhaps you've noticed that you've spelt some words incorrectly and you want to change those. And when you're happy with your work, perhaps you could take a photograph of it, email it to your teacher. We'd love to read your character descriptions. Okay, we might give some stamps on stamp charts for children that have tried really hard. Mums and dads, again, similar to last week when we wrote about the setting description about the forest, do this a little bit at a time. So write a little bit at a time. So a couple of sentences, pause the video, let children have a break. That's absolutely fine if they want to come back to it at a later time. Okay. Well done, everybody. We can't wait to read your character descriptions about the alien.